Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. Remember this pouch? The Vanquest pouch that I actually made a video about, some PPM-Slim pocket personal organizer thing. Well, I mentioned to you guys that I was getting an upgrade, a bigger pouch, and here it is. This is the Maxpedition AGR line MRZ mini pouch in black, and it's got a pretty good, solid, more of a hard rubber, I guess ballistic formed kind of cover or front half, which is awesome. And it is big to the point that it cannot fit in frame if I were to hold it in the standard portrait orientation, so I'm gonna have to hold it in the landscape orientation so you guys can have a look at how big this thing is. But like I said, I was gonna upgrade my EDC pouch from something smaller to something bigger, but what I did instead was actually create a completely separate pouch. So depending on what my situation or the plans that lie ahead of me in my day, I could pick either this or this, just grab and go. So this one, like you guys know, has everything in it. See all the stuff that I need. Of course it's missing the lighter, but basically it's got all my necessities here. I've got a little bit of medication in here down at the front, including some band-aids, and just gotta slip it out nicely. There we go, medication. And I've got also an upgraded object, which is the Blade HQ lapel pin, which is pretty awesome. It came as a free gift. Yep, and it's still got the Gamble made Ultra Link, but I'm gonna put that aside because the focus is on this guy over here, and I purposely left the tag on because I kind of wanted to show it to you guys that it's a Maxpedition AGR, because if I take this away then there isn't really much branding. So let's start with the cosmetics of this, or basically the externals. This, like I mentioned, is a hard shell or harder shell. It's nicely formed and it's quite a nice texture. It's a little bit rubberized. Now this here is a patch. It's a Nerf Strife patch, and I forgot who's the one that made it, but I think it was from, Australia. I might be wrong, I'm sorry, but I thought it was nice. It fit just nicely, and you know, it reflects my other hobby, and it's quite a nice color that stands out. So it's blue, orange, it pops a lot. Next, I also changed out the zipper pulls with some 330 paracord zipper pulls, and these are just a snake knot ending with a diamond knot over here. And I've also added one of these, which is the Spellinger Designs square style tritium lanterns, and I'm rocking a white tritium vial in there. So yes, when I see white tritium lantern like this with this pattern here, the 5 circular slots and 1 long window slot here, I know it's my bigger pouch. And up here I've tied a paracord loop because originally this whatever material this is, it's some kind of a non-rip material. This was a little bit long. I didn't want it to be so tall. I tied it down, and I also used some Maxpedition clips. Let me try and show you the branding right there. So these Maxpedition clips came with the pouch. I got a pair, but they are meant to actually hold this and secure it onto MOLLE slots. But then I used it for this particular setup here so that I could have a loop quite close to my belt loop or whatever. And I'm just waiting for my Gamble made Ultra Link, the one that I backed on Kickstarter, to arrive so I could fit this on. So that is the externals of this thing. I did nothing else to it, and you could see basically I filled it up to the brim. Yes, it is a little bit fat now, and I do apologize because I'm not able to fit everything in frame, but I just wanted to show this to you guys how I actually set this up. And let's take a look on the inside. Here we go. Bam! It's chock full of a lot of stuff, as you guys can see. So right off the bat, I have my power bank. This one is a BioLite power bank. It's pretty good, very small sized and very well made, but I gotta say that it is a little bit heavy. This one is rated IPX6, so you know, some waterproof action going on there. And it's got a LED battery life indicator, standard input output, micro USB, and a standard USB output. Then I do have a USB cable. This is a lightning cable for my iPhone that I use. And over here I have a Gerber dime. Very good, well made multi-tool in my opinion. And the standout piece is definitely this particular plier because it is a self-spring plier, which is awesome. It's got whatever I need in here. I really like this purchase, and I gotta thank my buddy Fu Jun Yao for telling me about this Gerber dime and poisoning me with this. So now I actually have one of these, and it is sitting very well inside this whole pouch. Next is a Rovivon Aurora flashlight. This one is the stainless steel one that I used to rock in my backpack, but I actually have another titanium one on order that is coming in to me with the 2 tritium slots, because I believe in having tritium slots for your flashlights. You guys saw that I still had the titanium one in the other smaller pouch that I had. And next to it is a standard lighter. You guys can see just a very normal lighter that sits here. Having a source of heat or a source of fire is always good, you know, just in case I have any stray threads I want to burn off. That's gonna do the job. And next to that is something that I've kind of not really explained to you guys or shown you guys before, but I've teased a little bit to you guys before. It is my Spyderco Dragonfly 2 in the Salt series featuring the H1 steel, which is virtually rust proof. And these are actually custom scales that I got from, I think it was bladescales.com, and originally it was just the standard raw G10 color, but then of course I had to put a little spin on it, so I actually dyed it, and it's in this faded gradient green going up to the original color here. I do have to put a lanyard here. I haven't used this lanyard slot yet. I want to do that, but that will be very soon. It's not very important right now because this actually sits inside the pouch, and it sits in this particular slot right here. Now on the back here is a standard Zebra FXMD pen that is a little bit hard to take out. I might have to reorganize this part of the orientation or the order of the items over here, because I don't know why, for some reason the sides here are really tough, and I believe it's because of this material and the stitching over here, but it's really tight. But you can see that it's the Zebra FXMD pen, and it sits right there just like that. And then I have a Write in the Rain writing pad, all-weather writing paper. This one is a Maxpedition version, and yeah, just haven't written anything down, but having a notepad with me whenever I'm out is always a good thing in case I need to scribble some stuff down. You know, sometimes I might be thinking of an idea for an upcoming video. And last but not least is whatever's inside this zipper pouch over here. So this zipper section is directly protected by this case over here, and that's where I store most of my personal medication stuff. So I'm going to push this out of the way so I can flip this up open easier to show you guys. Now first of all, I have this little metal case, and then next I have this, which is a multi-tool. This is a CRKT multi-tool. It's a little bit different from the Gerber multi-tool because this one actually has a knife sharpener. The reason why I have this knife sharpener here is because this steel, the H1 steel, even though it is very highly rated in terms of the resistance to corrosion, the blade itself gets dull very easy. Edge retention isn't very good, so I need to have at least a knife sharpener. Even though it's not a fantastic knife sharpener, it does the job, and you can see that I've used it a couple of times. There's some flint left over or some residue left over from sharpening knives, and yeah, it works fine. So I've tested it out, and it's even got a ceramic side. It's got the arrow pointing in the direction where you're supposed to pull your blade, and it's got two tools over here. It's Torx bits, which is always going to be handy when I'm doing any maintenance work to this. This is a T6 and T8, which fit this perfectly because the T8s are used for the pocket clip as well as the pivot pin, and the T6s are used for the scales itself. So this comes in really handy for this use case scenario. It's also got a pry bar and a bottle opener, but I rarely use them, but it sits in here. And the last item in here before I get into this metal case is something really interesting that I came across online. And these are alcohol swabs as well as iodine swabs, and these things are actually pretty damn amazing. If you guys have never heard of them, now you have. They are just awesome. They work really cool. I'm going to show it to you in a short while, but basically I've got 5 iodine swabs and 5 alcohol swabs just in case I need to use them for any kind of, say, first aid scenarios, or I could use the alcohol swab to clean out the knife if I want to, because they are good for the knife purpose. So I'm going to show you guys a demonstration of the alcohol and iodine swab, and they actually come in a roll like this, and I bought this off Amazon. This is like 50, so I got 50 iodine ones and 50 alcohol ones, and basically I have one alcohol one here and an iodine one here, and this is how it works. It's really awesome. It's such a cool technology behind it. So this works as a standard Q-tip, you guys can see, but all you gotta do is just tear this portion here and then remove the alcohol swab or the iodine swab like that, and you'll see a red line. So what that tells you to do is break this part over here, and then all of this fluid will flow out into this end, and it's amazing. Let me just get some tissue so I won't be making a big mess, and I'm gonna fold it so I can dab it off easily. Just break it like that, and then just wait for it, and you see how it just flows down like that. So then we can just apply the iodine to whichever area that requires it, and you're done. And then you can just clean it up with the other end. How cool is that? How cool of an invention is that? Let me show it to you guys once again with the alcohol swab. So just open it, and then you break the end that is marked. So say for example I got a cut or a small little wound there, for example, I'll just break this end. I'm gonna try and hold it in an orientation that is easy for you to see. So all you gotta do is just break one end, and you'll see the alcohol actually flow down to the other end, which is quite cool. See, just break it, and then everything just goes like that. And now this end has all the alcohol you need to just clean off your wound, or just clean up any area with dirt. And then you could dry it off with the other end, or just grab a piece of tissue and just wipe it off. So once again, like I said, these things are awesome. It's great to have. I also put some into my other smaller pouches as well as my everyday carry backpack. This is just convenient to have. So I have 5 of each inside this particular pouch. Last but not least, onto this metal case over here. This is my personal medication case. It's not really a first aid kit, but it's just personal medication. And this case actually came with a, I think it was a carabiner. Yeah, it was a handmade carabiner from EDC Long. Yeah, it's a very awesome carabiner. Let me just see that. This is just awesome. Completely handmade. Springless, by the way, and stainless steel. But that's not the focus of this video. Just wanted to let you guys know that I have that. This was actually used to house that, and so I decided to repurpose it and use it to keep some medication in here. Pull this out. I've got a few band-aids in there. It is some band-aids. It's pretty straightforward, simple stuff. So just have them in there, and it is a wonderful fit. Then I actually have this pouch over here, and this one I want to show you guys because this is the kind of things that I carry around, because I do get migraine sometimes. So that's me admitting my caffeine addiction to you guys. If I don't drink coffee in the morning, I get hit with a pretty bad migraine just a couple of hours into the day. So these are the kind of medicine, or basically tablet pills, that I carry around. This one here, this is known as Zyrtec, and this one is for any kind of cold relief. Like if I have a runny nose or some flu-like symptoms, I just take this. And the reason why I have numbers here is because that is the dosage, so just 1 per dose. Another one here, this is called Leftos. This is to soothe any kind of sore throats or any kind of chesty coughs, and this is 2 per dosage. And this is basically some paracetamol pills, or aspirin if you want to call it that. It's basically the same thing, commonly known here in Singapore as Panadol, but this one is a brand called Parasil, and 2 per dosage. And I keep it all inside this case over here, which is really, really convenient. So just grab this, fit that inside, and this here as well. If you guys are wondering why I keep all this rounded, it's because, you know, sometimes the edges are sharp. If you just cut it with a pair of scissors, or if you tear it off in the middle, those edges are sharp, and I don't want them to be breaking through or poking any holes in these Ziploc bags, because I want to keep this a little bit waterproof per se. So yeah, it's really easy to round these things off. All you gotta do is just get a nail clipper and then just clip off the corners a couple of times, and you'll get a very nicely rounded side like that. And that's how I basically keep my medication. I know it's a bit meticulous, but I just wanted to be sure that everything is safe, you know what I mean? A little bit goes a long way, you know? And just let me put all this back into the pouch and close it up, and then I'll end off this video. Personal medication goes in here. Just close this up, and then put this back into the slightly bigger Ziploc bag. Flatten it out so that there's not too much air in there. Close it up, fit it back here, and that's where it sits. And it's great to keep medication stuff in here because it is quite well protected on the front, so you won't run the risk of crushing anything by accident, you know, especially those Q-tips there. Now just zip this up, grab this and fit it back there. All I have to take note of is that this part and this over here would not hit each other when I'm closing it, so I just gotta make sure that everything lines up like that, and then just close it, zip it up. And for those of you using this pouch, just make sure that you kind of fold this part down a little bit when you're pulling the zipper up, because this actually is pretty tough in this section over here. It always gets stuck, you see? So you just got to push that down a little bit, and then you could easily zip it up. Just something to take note of. I think it's also something that Maxpedition could look into. But yes, basically that is it, everyone. If you are interested in getting this pouch, the MRZ mini pouch by Maxpedition, I'll just put links in the description box down below. And no, it is not an affiliate link because I'm not affiliated with Maxpedition. I'm just an average consumer. So yeah, from a consumer standpoint, this suits my need, and it really depends on what you guys are looking for. So now I have the Vanquest pouch, the PPM-Slim, and as well as the MRZ mini by Maxpedition, all of which have the items that I need whenever I want. If I have a shorter day ahead and I'm just traveling light, I'll bring this along. But if I have a longer day ahead and I have a little bit more to accomplish, as well as maybe if I foresee that my phone battery will need some extra charging, I'll bring this one out, because they both have everything that I need, and these are for days that I don't carry my backpack. You guys already know. And that's about it, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing in this slice of my life. Now I will remove this tag because I don't have a need for it anymore, since I already told you guys about it. This is my Benchmade mini Griptilian, got my name etched there. Pretty cool. I'll talk about it another day. But thank you so much for sharing in this slice of my life. I really appreciate it. I hope you found this video interesting or informative. This is how I carry my stuff. This is part of my, I guess, my own personal setup for my own uses. And at this point of time, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Pink Fire for being an awesome patron. I really appreciate everything you've done and the continuous and non-stop support that you are showing for not just my channel but for me as well and my future endeavors. Thank you very much. And to everyone else, I'll catch all of you in the next slice of my life. And until the next video, everyone, Gaga Boost!